Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and I am back again to talk about one of my favourite guitar players, and I'm going to do it with one of my favourite people. So as a teacher, there are a plethora of learning resources that I use with my students. There are a plethora of resources that I push them in the direction of to help further their study. And this isn't unique to me as a teacher, of course. This is something that all teachers do. Now, over the years, I have got to know a lot of incredible teachers and discuss the resources and the learning materials that we use with our students to help them further their studies. And this one video is a shared interest between myself and my good friend Martin Miller. So this is a video of Mike Stern, and it's from way back in, I think, about 2004, maybe even 2003. It was filmed at the Guitar Institute in London, which is where I did my degree. And it was released as part of a CD-ROM package with Guitar Techniques magazine, and for years it's been available on YouTube. And then more recently, Martin messaged me and said, "Have you seen that Mike Stern video recently?" Because we would often use it to link to with our students, and for whatever reason it had been pulled down. So I decided to try and locate the video. And now I own almost every, or at least I owned every issue of Guitar Techniques magazine. So I knew I had this, but actually a couple of weeks ago I sold them all to somebody. So I had to reach out to that person and see if they could dig out this video. And I have found it. I have dug out this video. So I thought it would be great for me to sit and transcribe it and to give you an insight into, you know, what I think is great about Mike Stern, but also how you can go about learning from great players. But enough from me. I thought this would be a lot more fun if I spoke to Martin, or at least if I had Martin tell you why he thinks this is such a great video and one that you should maybe learn. Check it out.
Well, thank you very much for the introduction, Levi. It's an honor to be on your show, and it's an honor to be talking about this magnificent solo by one of my very, very favorite guitar players in the world, Mike Stern. In fact, Mike Stern was kind of my gateway drug into the whole world of jazz and fusion. It all happened when I was around 17 years old, like on the tail end of high school, and I was an all-out rock guy, and I heard Chromosome, which has like this beautiful blend of rock and jazz fusion, and that's something that just spoke to me in so many levels, like this kind of blend of fun and education, of jazz and rock, these polar opposites working so well together in conjunction is something that really spoke to me and has had a lasting impact on me. And it was kind of cool to go back many, many years later to revisit that song when we did a cover of that tune with Andy Timmons in the studio, which you can check out if you want. With the shameless self-promotion, let's get into why I think this solo is a textbook example on so many levels. And the first thing that I notice that really stands out to me and that I want to point out to a lot of my students is the rhythmic feel of Mike Stern. So a lot of people, when they play 16th shuffled funks, they tend to over-shuffle, over-tripletize their rhythms. And if you then also accent the downbeats too much, it sounds a bit funny and uncool and unsexy, for the lack of a better word. And what Mike does so well is to even that out. So he's neither playing perfectly straight 16th notes and he's not playing perfectly tripletized 16th shuffles. He's playing somewhere in between, like. And that's something he's just a master at. And you'll also notice he does not accent the downbeats, like, but he'll accent the upbeats. Now, I can't play like him, obviously, but it's kind of that cool. That cool feeling that is just outstanding, and I would definitely recommend to learn this solo and match your 16th notes perfectly to Mike Stern and absorb why that makes you feel so good when you listen to that bouncy 16th note shuffle offbeat accent feel. That's what we're going to call it. And the other thing is his lines are just perfect. If you ever run out of stuff to play over a singular minor seventh chord, there's a wealth of information in there. And one thing I want to point out is the way he superimposes chords that are not in, sorry, my phone is doing some funny business here. How he superimposes chords that are not actually being played out. What stands out particularly for me here is the fact that he seems to be hopping between C minor, C Dorian, which is the key center, of course, but he tends to move up a minor third to E flat minor and then resolve it back, but he does it so gracefully that you don't even notice, but it creates that kind of tension that is just really cool and keeps your attention going for the entire solo. So one line that in particularly stood out to me was something like, so if you analyze that, it starts out in C minor, then goes to E flat minor, yeah, then goes back to C minor, and then goes back to E flat minor, and then resolves. So yeah, and that's something he does over and over again. It's almost like an etude. That solo is so perfect, as if he composed it to demonstrate 16th note time feel in a funk setting and hopping between or superimposing chords over a static chord. So this is why I think this is a great learning tool to learn the solo, to absorb his feel, increase your vocabulary, and yeah, and he just improvised it on the spot, which just tells you what degree of mastery Mike has over this kind of material. He's just the man. So that's it. Thanks so much, guys. Check it out.
So let's take a look at this transcription. I'm going to bring it up on screen for you now. This is Mike here on the left. This is filmed, what, 2004, maybe late 2003. It was at the Guitar Institute in London. And yeah, I've just marked out the file in Transcribe. Actually, let me subdivide these beats by 4, just so we can see the beat markers. And when you take a listen to it, it has this undeniable shuffle feel, if you listen to it. It's not those 16th notes aren't evenly spaced. It's got a shuffle to it. And actually, I'm electing to kind of perceive my beat for this as being 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That felt a little bit more correct than feeling 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I were to stick to that faster tempo, it would allow me to use 8th note vocabulary. But actually, I think in terms of the pulse, in terms of the groove that the bass player is playing, I don't really think that's right for this type of thing. I think 16th notes is absolutely fine for this. So yeah, looking at Mike play, we can see he's playing in C minor. I'm just going to put that shuffle marking in, though I guess the point, and I think one of the reasons that both Martin and I love this video, is the shuffle isn't this kind of strict shuffle. There's a swagger to it, and imitating Mike's sound is about getting that swagger to your lines, if that makes some sort of sense. Let's take a look at this. I'll slow it down a bit. So, boom. Where even are we? We're here, aren't we? Yeah. Now, these little scuff notes that I'm putting in here, I kind of hate doing this because although obviously he is doing it, but it doesn't really fit in with the ethos of the idea. If you actually watch his hand play, there's this constant motion in his hand, so it's more about the attitude of keeping your hand moving like this, and then sort of using it for rhythmic interest when you're playing. So he is hitting one there. The dag to da. It's in C minor. I should really put a key signature in, but Da, da, da. I assume he'll be playing that. Let's take a quick check. Yeah, so basic same idea in the next part. I'm literally just going to copy and paste that because I think when learning this, it's less about that intro. It's more about his lines. So we jump up to that home position. Shape 1, minor pentatonic. Ba, ba. And we've got that blues curl on the second beat. We'll put that in there. Now, transcription. Sing everything. Boom. Do da da, boo da da, ba da 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 do do da. Boo ba. I know the line. Boo da 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 boo da da. Oh, sorry, it's da da boo da. It doesn't play that last note. Now, because I've sung it, I know how to write it. So. Blues curls on these. Da, 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 da. Da, boo, da. Da, boo, da. That's bluesy. Ba, boo, ba. Ba, bo. Hang on, where? Oh. Had to think about the key I was in there. Ba, boo, ba. I'm going to notate that like that. Ba. Now this is where the lines get cool. Now I really want to check the articulation on this. I'm really looking. That sounds like a slide to me. Ba-da, but that's our pitches, right? Ba-da, ba, E flat, major 7. Ba-da. He could be picking that, but ba 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 ba. Yeah, I need to put the key signature in. It will save me from having to do all of this, all of these accidentals. No one wants to do all those accidentals. So C minor, E flat major. There's Dorian really, but da ba ba ba. Da da ba ba. Da ba ba ba. Now, this is where things are fascinating for me. I'm putting a shift slide in there because he shifts on the same finger. It's not a slide. He doesn't pick one note and slide to the next without articulating the next note. It does articulate the next note. But when you look at this entire line, I mean, even if you just look at the waveform for the line, we can see this note is loud. These notes are quiet. These notes are a little bit louder. These notes are quiet. I don't necessarily want to go through this and put accurate markings on, but when you are learning something like this, it's not as simple as just playing the notes. Da 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 da. It's about getting the the dynamic feel. Ba 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 do da 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 da. So it's almost like there's an accent on this now. Now I don't want you to really think of there as actually being an accent on there. When I'm learning, I don't think of it like that. it's more the bubbly feel to the line. There's a dynamic bubble. Da ba 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 ba. We should be able to write that, right? Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Few little mistakes. Now, because this is an MPEG, the video really lags in transcribe. I am wanting to just check his fingerings for this. Now, classic Stern. Ba ba ya da. Now, this articulation, Sean Baxter would call this swing picking, where we have picked notes on weak beats, the second and fourth notes of the 16th note phrasing, and then slurs onto strong beats, the 1 and the 3. Same again there, right? Ba ba ya da, ba ba ya da. Da ba ya da. Same again. Ba ba da da. Does he play that there? Let's have a look. Yeah, position shift. Ba ba da da. It's bluesy there, or jazzy, I should say. Ba 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 ba. Like the flat two. That's same thing. Ba ya ba. He pulls off to that note. He could even slide to it. Mike is big on his slides. Let me just check the way he articulates that. That's the point of learning something like this. It's this level of detail. Yeah, so it's a pull off. Ba ba da ba. Ba da ba ba. Ba ba ba. Now these notes he plays straight. It's not shuffle anymore. Ba 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 ba. So this shuffle marking, don't take it too literally. I'm playing that there again. Let's check his fingering. So he shifts to there. This MPEG video really does my head in. I hate it. Ba, 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 ba. That note is played higher. Da, ba, 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 ba. And I wanted to, like, pitching, easy. I can hear the pitch. I can sing. Ba, ba, da, ba. Da, ba, ba, da, ba, 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 da, da. I can hear the notes he's playing, but it's about where is he playing them, right? So, ba 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 da da. Da 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 da. Slide there again. Ba ba ya. So slight rhythmic variation. Da boo da. Ba boo ba. Ba 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 da. And it's going to be a slide there, isn't it? Oh, he doesn't actually. He picks that note. Interesting. Many years since I've played this. How long does this note last for? Let's make that an eighth note. And then bluesy flat 5. Probably move my stupid head out of the way. Da ba ba ba. Why is my phone vibrating? Who wants me? Nobody. Well, PayPal. No, sorry. Nope. It is there. Now these little chromatic encirclements, focusing on landing on this B flat here, we hit B, and then A, and then B flat. It's non-diatonic. He's targeting that note. It sounds nice. Now I don't. He does it. I'll put it in. But I'm going to put it in brackets because I don't feel that it's part of the intended line, if that makes sense. It's like he transitions to it in moving to the next note that he's going to. I assume he's playing that there. That's a weird fingering. No, sorry. Straight here. Whoops. Da 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 da. and then jumps up. Damn you, Guitar Pro. Again, screw this MPEG. Yeah, pentatonic. Mike likes that little major 7. Sorry. Now, he's late on that note, but I'm going to put it in time. Ba, ba, ba. It's a G flat major 7. Oops. C minor, of course. Melodic minor. Now, check fingerings really, shouldn't I? Yeah. Now that breaks the rules. Sorry. Sorry. Again, fingering, he could play this flat 5 in one of 2 places. So make sure we get the right option. He actually does play it there. No, he doesn't. Sorry. Let's get the right note. Did it again. Get the right notes. We're going to stop in a second. We'll stop here. Yeah, it's a good place to stop. From here, I think he goes into the octaves and fifths. There's some cool lines. Don't get me wrong, some really cool lines. Fifths. Yeah, we don't need to do that. So, yeah, that's a great little representation of some of what Mike is about. And if I just compute tempo on this, make sure we get the right tempo, it's about 105. If I put that in at 105, it's not going to sound quite right when I play it like this because of that strict shuffle feel, but it gives you a good feel. Good idea. So the shuffle feel is totally wrong, but that is the point. When it comes to transcribing something like this and then learning it, it's about imitating Mike's feel. The transcription is only going to help you with notes. It's going to help you, know what he played and where he played it, but not necessarily how he played it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you develop a good ear. So, hope you enjoyed that. As always, massive thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. Videos like this wouldn't exist without you, especially now in these tough and trying COVID-19 times, quarantine and all of that good stuff. Sitting at home, practicing, studying. Hopefully you'll go and try that again. You'll go and do some study too. Yeah, if you would like to check me out on Patreon, there of course is a link in the description, or you could head on over to Patreon by clicking this button up here. You can subscribe by clicking this button down here, and you will see 2 more videos here and here. Would recommend you check them out. Go give some love to Martin Miller. Not that you need to, because I'm sure y'all all know who he is. Incredible player, teacher, and good friend. So, yeah, and some love to Mike as well. So much love, guys, and I will see you for another video soon. Goodbye.